Hey, navigators. My name is Brooke, and I am your host here today on the Navigating Personal Growth Show. You have got the career, the family, the house, the car. The checklist is check, check, check. You did everything that you were supposed to do. Why do you still feel miserable? Today, I'm exposing the lie behind having it all and showing you what to do instead. Because here's the truth. Studies show that women today are more successful than ever, more educated, more productive, but they are also more unfulfilled than any generation before. And if you have ever felt guilty for wanting more peace when you already, quote unquote, have it all, you're not alone. I'm going to show you today how to trade burnout for balance and how to get that energy back in your soul and your purpose. And you are going to walk away with a 3-step plan and how to do that. Because by the end of this video, you will be able to picture it again. Your life that feels calm, aligned, and actually yourself. A few years ago, I was living the dream that I prayed for, running 3 businesses, having the house, this big old fixer-upper house that we did, like so Chip and Joanna Gaines style, the kid. I had all the things on the outside and everything looked like it should be perfect. But on the inside, I was lonely. I was exhausted. I was constantly getting sick. I was not as on top of things as I seemed, and I was chasing a version of what I thought success should look like on the outside, right? The logos, the designers, the maybe it's time to get a new car. And the worst part of all of it is I feel guilty for even feeling any of that. Like maybe I just wasn't grateful enough in that season. But the truth of the matter is I have learned from it. And I have learned that having it all does not make you happy when what is going on in the inside is not the life that you are aligned with, that it's not aligned with your purpose, it's not aligned with your passions, and it's not aligned with where you are going in life. Because you know what? You cannot fill your soul with achievements. You cannot fill your soul with Gucci bags, although it would be cute if you could, right? And there is no amount of success that can silence the feeling that something is missing from the life that you built, and that life is feeling like it just doesn't fit anymore. Because studies today show women have it all compared to generations of the past, right? They have the career, they have the nanny, they have an assistant, they have the house, there's 2 income working homes, or maybe they're single and they're killing it and they're doing all of these things, yet depression and anxiety is skyrocketing. And that term that I use over and over on this show, burn out, because we are told that success is doing everything, being everywhere to everyone at all times, and not just being ourselves and being alone and being silent. Because I know that you also feel guilty when you sit down and know that there's other stuff to do. Like, I just need to sit, can I not just sit down and read a book or watch a Netflix video? Because we think we've got to get all the things done all the time before we ever do that. And it's a lie. It's a lie I've struggled with. It's a lie that you struggle with. And how did we get here? Because having it all has become this new burnout badge, right? I feel like I need a shirt that says that, burnout badge. It was like Girl Scouts where you could have different grades of burnouts and wear the little sash and the brown and the green. I don't know. There was my squirrel tangent moment, right? But you know what? Here's what this looks like in real life. You wake up and you say yes when you mean no. You are constantly managing everyone else's expectations of what you should be doing. Who invented that word? Can we get rid of that word? It's just a gift, or I should be. No, it was a gift you took time to think of someone for, or you should. No one needs to tell you there should, But even when you try to show up and you try to do all these things, you get the promotion, you figure out the next successful house idea, you get to the next milestone that honestly you keep raising the bar to, right? Over and over and over again. It feels good for about 48 hours and then there you go again. But here's the deal. You're not broken. I wasn't broken. We're not broken. We're just out of alignment with where we're really going. You built the dream life, but you lost yourself in the process. But here's the good news. You don't have to burn it down to get back to where you want to be. You just have to get realigned with what your purpose actually is. And when your outer life starts matching your inner truth, the peace replaces the pressure. Doesn't that feel good to say? Like, let's say that again. The peace replaces the pressure. And when that happens, when that shift happens in your life, that's when the joy starts coming back. The joy in the everyday, the joy in the little things, the joy that can be lasting forever. That's not just right now and this moment and let's move on. And you stop performing for approval and you start showing up on purpose. Because you know what? You don't need to have it all. You already do. You just need to know what matters. And here is our 3-step plan of how we're going to get there. So first thing is I have really actually done this before, but we're going to audit your life, right? So you're going to take a piece of paper and you're going to draw a line down the middle. Okay. I've done this. Like my mom taught me this in my early 20s. Like, what are the positives? What are the negatives? Except what we're going to do is what fills me up and what drains me. Okay. And if like you don't have a piece of paper right now, because it's just you and your phone, like riding in the car or on the subway somewhere and just listening to the show, like you can do like a bulleted list and then another bulleted list, like on your notes, like on your phone or something. Right. Okay. So what fills you up and what drains you? Because if it drains you, it's costing you more than it gives you. And that's what we want to get rid of out of your life, right? So audit your life for alignment. So maybe what fills you up is having a slow morning, all right? But what drains you is having a chaotic night. So how can you start to pare down that chaotic night to keep those slow mornings in your day, right? Or maybe what drains you is the amount of laundry that you always have to do, right? What fills you up is having less clothes in your closet. So you know what? You're never going to have as much laundry if you don't have as many clothes to wash. Light bulb moment. That was for me for sure. So that's number 1. We're going to audit your life. Number 2, we're going to simplify your definition of success. What is it that you say is successful? So for example, let's say that you want to write a book. Why? How many would you have to sell to feel successful? Do you need a New York Times bestseller? What is the purpose? Getting clarity on what success actually feels like to you. Because for success for me is slow mornings, homeschooling my son, having businesses that are manageable, and a great team that's invested in following the vision and being true to our mission, to what we say we're going to do. That's success for me. None of that had to do with the number of subscribers. None of that had to do with a revenue amount or the money in my bank account. But that's not necessarily what it needs to look like for your life. So what is success? And here's a really, really convicting question that can help you figure that out. Would you do it if nobody ever clapped for you? Because that's going to tell you if you're doing this for approval or alignment. Like, would you go to the pumpkin patch with your kids if you were never going to take a picture and post it on Facebook for people to say or think that you were a great mom? Would you buy presents for people if you were never going to post pictures of them, of how beautifully you wrapped them and how many you bought for people? That's the difference in approval and alignment. If the answer is would, there's nothing wrong with presents. There's nothing wrong with a pumpkin patch, right? Would you go on the trip anyway, just to enjoy the view, if you weren't going to post pictures of the vacation online to try to prove the kind of life you had? Approval, alignment. So we're going to audit your life, going to simplify it. Simplify that definition of what's successful for you. And then start small, but start now. And I say this all the time. We have to start where we are, right? But instead of 10 minutes of scrolling TikTok tonight, what if you have 10 minutes of silence where you really think about this? Really think about what it is for you, right? And you may have to trade one yes for a no that could be guilt-free, right? And we'll be sure and link the episode in the notes where we go dive into how you can say no without feeling guilty. Because it's a real thing, but it's a muscle. You have to kind of practice it, right? You got to practice it. But you will be shocked at how quickly your peace will return to your life when you start living in alignment and not for approval. So picture this with me. Like close your eyes. I can't keep mine closed because I'm videoing. We're on the video, right? And on the microphone. But imagine waking up on a Monday and you're not feeling any more dread. You're saying yes to things that feel your energy and fit your values. You're fully present at dinner, not snapping at your kids. You don't have that mental to-do list anymore. That doesn't have to be a fantasy. Once you get serious about getting aligned with what it is that you want for your life, once you have a taste of that, having it all in the world's terms will never tempt you again. But we've got to figure out first what matters to you, because what matters to me is not what's relevant. What matters to you is what's important. And taking that time and diving in is very, very critical into figuring out where it is you want to go. So here's my reflection question for you. What is one thing that you have right now that doesn't really give you joy? We're practicing that muscle. And then maybe pass it along to somebody else. Get rid of it. Give it away. Take it off the list. And if you've loved the content in today's episode, drop a like, subscribe to our show, because that lets us know that we want to keep making content like this for you. And we have a new newsletter launching in 2026 that we would love for you to be a part of, and love for you to be a part of our Navigating Personal Growth community, because we believe that personal growth is your personal superpower, and you are truly unstoppable once you tap into your journey of personal growth. So we'll put the link in the comments for you to be sure and click and get hooked up with our new newsletter. And we cannot wait to have you watch next week's episode, where we are focusing on healing the woman so that she can lead her life with purpose and alignment. Until next time.